I've been missing y'all. I've been waiting to get back to y'all, right? So I'm a little excited for this discussion. But today we're going to talk about quantum leaping. We're going to talk about timelines. We're going to talk about collapsing reality. We're going to talk about manifestation. All right. I had posted this question in the Discord the other day, and I was hoping to get some conversation around it, but y'all basically ignored it. It was I often feel as if when I decide who I am, when I choose an identity, the more that I look at an old version of myself and I can no longer relate to that version of myself, it seems the quicker things show up. And I said, I wonder if that is just a story or if this is the way that time works. Crickets ensued. But this is what we're going to talk about today. Okay. We're going to talk about how you're not moving through time, you're moving through identity. Reality does not move at the speed of time, it moves at the speed of identity. I think it was one response that was like, no, that's just a story. And I wanted to be like, well, then what the fuck? Then what is time then? If it's not identity that changes time, then what is it? It's an experience of us becoming based on what? It's the illusion of things changing based on what? Based on what? Based on what? Why does everything change? It's based on identity, right? Yes, Alex. All right. So let's talk about how identity changes time. Let's get into it. So here we go. And this one might be a YouTube one. You might have to go back and watch it. I have like 3 diagrams in here that we're going to talk about because I really want to highlight this point. So we've got, I think, 2 or 3 diagrams that we're going to go through as well. So here we go. Reality moves at the speed of identity. Reality moves at the speed of identity. Is that not empowering? Is that not empowering? Reality moves at the speed of identity. So the great misunderstanding about time, number one, human beings speak about time as if it were a ruler, something that stretches, something that must be crossed, something that must be endured. We say things like, it takes time. We'll say, maybe one day. We'll say, I've been waiting for years. We'll say, God willing, in the future, hopefully something changes, right? But this assumption actually hides the deeper illusion that we're going to talk about. What's the deeper illusion that we're going to talk about? Time itself does not move slowly. Time is instant. It's immediate. It's right now. What does move slowly? Most people's identity. Most people's identity moves slowly. Reality does not unfold according to clocks. We'll often say, even in the spiritual community, let's talk about divine timing. What is divine timing? There's nothing outside of you. There's nothing within you. There's just you. What is divine timing except for time moving through you? Frames moving through you, identity moving through you, reality moving through you. All of these things are just you. So there has to be some way that we can speak about time. There has to be a correlation. There has to be, right? Okay. So reality does not unfold according to clocks. Reality unfolds according to who you are being in this moment. I'm going to throw something out there and we're going to go back and we're going to revisit it later. The moment that you decide that you are prosperity, everything has changed. It might look the same, but you're in a completely different reality right now. The manifestation is instant. So you decide on prosperity, it's done. You're it. You're in that reality. You are that reality. You are that timeline. Now, it might look the same, feel the same. Situations might look to even be unfolding similarly, but they're not. Everything has changed. Why? Because you have changed. But can you recognize that? That's your task. Can you recognize that? What happens when we get caught up in the external has to look a different way? What happens? We'll walk through life. Everything has changed. But now we start looking out there and saying, the bank account. This. That. It must not have changed. Boom. Now we're off it again. Now we're back into that old reality. And we're going to go into this in some more depth. All right. So what most people call time is actually something else entirely. It is identity persistence. Identity persistence. The longer you remain the same version of yourself, the the longer reality appears unchanged. The moment identity shifts, the timeline rearranges instantly. The moment you shift your identity, I am whole and prosperity and love and complete, and I'm in that divine loving relationship. No, you are. You are on that timeline. You're on that timeline right now. Now, things out there might have to reorganize for it to be revealed to you, but you're on that timeline. The only person that can fuck up a good thing is you. You're the only person that can fuck up a good thing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is why two people can live through the same number of years, two identical twins, same number of years, yet experience completely different lives. One person evolves, the other repeats. So here's a quote from Marcus Aurelius. It says, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The universe is change, but our life is what our thoughts make it." Let's go a little bit further. Everywhere we look, existence is in motion. Stars are born and die. Seasons turn without asking permission. Rivers reshape the land that once resisted them. Rivers reshape the land that once resisted them. The river flows just like your consciousness flows in this moment. When you know who you are, that resistance gets ran through like a river. Your consciousness is the river that carves through resistance, carves through stone, carves through mountain. Your perception is a sword. It cuts through time and circumstance. And your presence is your shield that guards you from the bullshit. Let's go a little further. Change is not an interruption of reality. It is the very nature of reality itself. The universe doesn't cling to what was. It unfolds, it transforms, it renews itself endlessly. Yet, within this vast movement, the human mind performs a strange act. Within this vast movement, the human mind, it wants to perform a very strange act. What does it do? It attempts to freeze life into a fixed story. We take passing thoughts, temporary emotions, old memories, passing circumstances. We take one moment of time. My mother said this. The text looks like this. And we crown them as permanent truths. We take these different moments. We say, I got this text in this moment. I saw this thing. I felt this way. And I'm going to group these 3 moments together. And I call this reality. It's not working. Interesting, right? We take passing thoughts, temporary emotions, and old memories, and we crown them as permanent truths. In doing so, we begin living inside interpretations rather than inside the living moment. So instead of us standing in the moment deciding who we are as reality, we take the past, circumstance, the past, emotion, the past, thought, the past. This is what it looks like, and we judge everything through the lens of the identity of someone who believes that the past is solid. Someone who believes that the past holds the key to truth. The past holds the key to salvation instead of you knowing that you are the kingdom. Do you not know that you are the kingdom? The way that we look at the past, the way that we look at our thoughts, the way that we look at our emotions, the way that we look at circumstances, do you know that you are the kingdom? Do you know that you are source? I know we're getting back to it today, right? I know y'all like that shit. You missed this shit. I know. I didn't really miss y'all, but I still love you, all right? The same mind that imprisons us in repetition is also the doorway to freedom. How, Alex? How? The same mind that imprisons us in repetition is also the doorway to freedom. I'm just playing. You know, y'all know I love y'all and miss y'all. All right. If life becomes what our thoughts make it, then every moment carries the power of authorship. But Alex, I thought you said thoughts don't matter. Listen. Keep up. If life becomes what our thoughts make it, then every moment carries the power of authorship. Thoughts are not merely reactions to the world. They are what? They're lenses through which the world takes shape. When the mind changes, the landscape of experience changes with it. The external world may move slowly, but the inner world can transform in an instant. The inner world can transform in an instant. And when the inner world transforms, reality immediately reorganizes around the new vision. In this way, identity is not a passive echo of life. It's not a passive echo of life. It is, what is identity? It is the brush through which consciousness paints the meaning, direction, and destiny of our days. Your identity right now is the paintbrush. Life out there, whatever this thing out there is the canvas, it's the screen. Your consciousness is the projector. Your identity of I am prosperity, you are immediately in that reality, but do you recognize it? Do you recognize it? In every moment, you are in a brand new reality. We're going to get into this a little bit more too. All right. So we just talked about thoughts, but mystics have always gone deeper than thought. They've always went deeper than thought. The universe doesn't simply respond to thoughts. It responds to being, right? And being only exists where? Where can you be anything? Where can you be anything? Can you be anything in the future? No, it doesn't exist. If you're trying to be something in the future, all you're doing is being somebody right now who isn't it. You're just being somebody who ain't it yet. All right. Can you be it in the past? No, past don't exist no more. It's just a thought. You can only be it now. You can only be it now. Being is in the present. So now we got this first beautiful diagram. Let me make sure that y'all can see it on YouTube. All right. First beautiful diagram. So in the middle, you see this orb and it's got this gold light around it. What does this gold light represent? You. Okay. This gold light, it's shining because we call this place the sacred space. This is where the shift in consciousness happens, okay? The shift in consciousness, it doesn't happen in the past. It does not happen in the future. It happens right now. So let's go into this. When does time collapse? When does time collapse? Time collapses when what? When what? You hold identity in the now moment. And we've got three things that can help you. Number one is going to be presence. Like the goddess Steph said. Number one is going to be presence. Number two, awareness. I am present. And who am I aware of being right now? All of that ties into it. So presence, awareness, being state. I am present. I am aware. What am I aware of? My being state. This is who I am right now. I am prosperity. And because I am reality, there's no inside and outside. There's just me. You don't talk to anybody else with your identity. Have you realized that even your conversations in your mind are just you talking to yourself? We should all be locked up. Bring out a straitjacket for everybody. Put us all away. There is only right now. So those three things: presence. How present are you? How aware are you of who you are being right now? See, here's the thing. Because somebody will say this. What will they say? They will say, look, I've been doing this, Alice, but nothing's changed for 4 months, 3 months. And I'll say, okay, well, when you are coming to that realization, where are you? Because you're not giving me that declaration from November of 2025. You're sitting in March. And right now, in this only moment that you have, you are animating a reality. So you're present in this moment. You're aware of time. You're aware. And what is your being state? I'm aware that I am someone who right now is in a story where nothing has changed for 5 months. This is what you're being right now. There is no past or no future. All of these, every moment is its individual reality. And in this moment, you are painting a picture that stretches to the past and stretches to the future. You're saying right now, I ain't got this shit. And it's been 3 months. You've just animated 3 months. And you've also animated that you're a person who is waiting. I don't got it. So it might be another 3 months, might be another 2 weeks, might be another, I don't fucking know because I'm not it right now. This is what you're being. Let's go a little bit further. There is nothing that connects every moment in time. Every moment in time, there's no connection. The only thing that connects them is the story that you tell to connect them. You don't have to go through the past and pull up the past to get to the future. That's just a straight thought. You can just decide who you are right now. You don't have to go heal anything, fix anything, work anything out. Your childhood wounds are fine. Your nervous system is fine. Your subconscious mind, it don't fucking exist. There's just you right now deciding who you are. And telling all these stories of I have to go back there and fix this. This has happened. But you're in the new reality right now. I'm trying to break this down in a different way. Right now, you are in the middle of reality, of existence. You are in the middle of the universe, getting to decide whatever you want to be right now. You get to make the decision of who you are right now. All right? Who are you? Are you somebody who's been waiting? Are you somebody who's still waiting, who's been doing something for a long time and seeing nothing change? Or are you somebody who decides because I am reality and I've said that I'm prosperity, everything has changed. I'm in that reality now because I am that reality. I am that timeline. And what I see out there is just the unfolding of everything just reorganizing to show this to me. But I'm already on that timeline because I am that timeline. So back to the diagram. So we've got this sacred space where you're always creating right here in the middle. Now you've got two things. You've got an old story to the left and you have a new reality to the right. You are always pulling in either an old story or a new reality. That's why these arrows are here. You're always pulling in an old story or a new reality. So right here, what identity are you holding? The old identity is based on the same thoughts. I'm not who I desire to be. The same emotions. Well, I just don't feel like I'm that person right now. The same patterns. And when you stay in this old story, what happens is time stretches. You stay in this old story for this moment, until the next moment, until the next year, and time stretches to match the identity of the old story. It ain't rocket science. Now, what happens when you step into this new identity? With the new thoughts, new emotions, new possibilities, you enter a beautiful state called alignment and flow. How does it work with relationship? The same way it works with everything else. You are love right now. You're in that reality right now. Does it look like it? No. Or maybe it does. It doesn't matter. Your reality, not what's out there. You get to decide. You get to choose this day who you are going to serve. Are you the walking expression of God? Or is what you see outside of you the expression of God? I want you to think about this before you answer. Think about this. You are the walking wheel of God. Okay? If reality is waiting for you to decide who you are, and you're waiting for reality to show you who you are, you're going to be in this. So this is where this old story comes into play, right? So right now, if you're in this old story, you're waiting for reality. I'm trying to be something new, but I'm waiting for reality to show me different. Now, all of a sudden, reality just keeps on looping. Time stretches. Years go by. Months go by. Because you're waiting, you're sitting in this old story that nothing has changed, waiting for something outside of you to prove that it's changed, and then wondering why nothing has changed. But what's the underlying identity? The identity is nothing has changed. And when something out there shows me something has changed, then I'll accept that something has changed. Do you see how ridiculous that is? Now, what's the opposite side of it? I have changed, so everything has changed. Well, it might not look like everything has changed, but it's cool. It has, because I have, and I am reality. That's it. That's it. Let's go a little bit further. All right. So reality does not move through time. It moves through identity. So consider the statement. Nothing has changed for 5 years. Consider it. At first glance, it sounds like an observation. It sounds like you just say, I'm just telling her how it is, bro. I'm just got to be real. I just got to be real. You know, if I'm feeling this way, if I see this shit, I just got to say it how it is, Alex. You are what it is, though. Your reality. You're not just saying it how it is. You're speaking reality. You're creating right now. So if you want to be real at the expense of staying in that shithole of a reality, do that. But if you want what you want, then you will begin to go back to those 3 things, right? Presence. I'm here right now. What am I aware of? I'm aware of my being state right now. And what is my being state? That I am everything I desire to be right now, no matter if it looks like it. I am it. I am it. So at first glance, it sounds like an observation, but beneath it lies a deeper confession. The real question is not, has reality changed? That's never the real question. The real question is, have you? The real question is, have you changed? Have you changed? Because reality does not mirror time. Reality mirrors identity. Just because something has been going on for 5 years does not make it more solid than your identity that you've been holding right now. Reality is a direct reflection. Direct reflection. The moment that you decide that everything is working out for you, you are in that timeline. And it might not look like things are working out, but guess what? They must, because you're in that timeline. They must. Somehow, some way, God's going to find a way. You're God. You are God. Right? If the same identity is held for 5 years, the same patterns repeat for 5 years, the same relationships, the same limitations, the same emotional landscapes, the same internal conversations. But the moment identity shifts, something extraordinary happens. Reality begins to reorganize. You're already in that timeline. So of course it's reorganizing, because where is this timeline located? Where is this timeline located? In the now. In the now, here. But where is it actually located, though? Okay, maybe I should rephrase the question. What is the timeline? You're the timeline, is what I was getting at. You're the timeline. You're the timeline. You are reality. It's in the immediacy of now, meaning it's now, but it's also you. You are reality. You're not looking at reality. You are reality looking at whatever's out there. All right? So, the moment identity shifts, something extraordinary happens. Reality begins to reorganize. Doors that did not exist appear. Opportunities emerge. Conversations change. People respond differently. Circumstances rearrange. What looked like time passing was actually identity repeating. We call it time. It's just identity. It's just identity repeating and looping and persisting. That's all it is. So quote from Neville Goddard, right? Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and continue feeling that it is fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself. Went through that feel word in there a whole bunch of times. Feel. Now remember, when he said feeling, he also made another quote. He says, when I speak of feelings, I do not speak of emotions, but the knowing, the acceptance of the fact that you are already that which you desire to be. So when he was talking about feelings, he wasn't talking about you walking around looking like a butterfly just landed on your nose. He's talking about the acceptance of the fact, the truth that you are already everything that you desire to be. If I have never had $1 million, how could I know that I'm $1 million? If I've never had a quote unquote healthy relationship, how could I know that? Like, how could I? Question for the audience, right? How could you just know these things? Right? Because that seems to be the pushback, right? It seems like a very logical based question. Well, Alex, if I never had it, how could I know what I would feel or think? Very noble question, coming from the right place, because, right? But how can I accept it as true if I've never felt it? If I've never seen it, I ain't never touched $1 million. So how the fuck am I supposed to know what it's like to be $1 million? Why? What? So this goes back to our deeper truth that we're constantly talking about. What is that? How are you? When I say you're already everything you desire to be, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? You're already everything you desire to be. Huh? What? What do you mean? What does that mean? It means that the fullness of God is within you. It means that you're much more than this human body, right? It means that you are the awareness gazing through this human body. Let's talk about it a little bit more, all right? In Genesis 1:31, it says that God looked at his creation and saw that it was very good. The word very good, when we translate it back to the Hebrew, it's tav miyad, right? It means whole, harmonious, all past exist. It's complete. That means that looking out there, this is a concession, right? Because God cannot be separate from his creation. This is a concession just to illustrate a point. What does it mean, right? It means that right now, or in the beginning, the quote unquote beginning, everything was already created. Let's take this down to a human perspective. That means that the version of you that is a billionaire, a millionaire, that's rich, that's sick, that's in health, that's poor, that has the person they want that doesn't, that's in a monogamous relationship, that's in a polygamous relationship, all of those versions of you exist right now. They're there. But what has happened is that we have fallen into amnesia. We've forgotten. So we're walking through reality and we forgot that we're already everything we desire to be. And so we look out there and we think the truth is that, well, because, these 3 women said no when I approached them at the Houston rodeo, that means that I'm in a lack. I'm in a deficit. It sounds personal, Alex. It is. It is personal. It is personal, goddammit. Right? That means that I'm not loved and I'm not whole because I've had these experiences and I'm judging myself based on them. Right? But what's the truth? The truth is that, no, I am the source of love. I am whole. I am complete. I am already everything I desire to be. Why? Because I'm already the fullness of God. So when I'm saying that I'm loved, it's not because I'm trying to overwrite reality or the external. I'm not trying to lie about what I see out there. I'm telling the truth based on something deeper. Because the fullness of God is within me. That means that I am love, I am prosperity, I am hope. So when I'm saying I'm a millionaire, when you're saying that, right? Before I had money, when I was saying that I had money, right? I wasn't saying that because I was trying to override anything out there. I was accepting my actual divine nature. That because the fullness of God exists within me, who am I not to claim prosperity? When the essence of prosperity is within me. Right? So when we say it's already yours, can you recognize that you're already it? I'm not saying can you pretend to have more money than you can and go out there and go broke. What I'm saying is, can you understand, can you recognize that the essence of God is within you? Which means that you already are prosperity and love and fullness and wholeness and all of that. Okay? Can you understand that? So let's get into this. Identity is the blueprint through which reality organizes itself. And identity is not something held in the future. Identity cannot be held in the future. It is decided now. So let's go further. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is not pretending that something outside of you has changed. It is allowing your inner state to move into alignment with the version of you who already lives in that reality. When the mind stops referencing lack, waiting, and uncertainty, it begins to inhabit the emotional atmosphere of completion. In that state, the desire is no longer something distant on the horizon. It becomes a present identity in the immediacy of now. Identity organizes perception, decisions, and reactions, shaping the invisible architecture through which life unfolds. When that identity, quote unquote, feeling becomes natural. What do I mean by natural? It becomes the place that you frequently inhabit. When your presence in this moment becomes natural, when the knowing of who you are becomes natural, this is just who I am, familiar. Reality begins to mirror it because consciousness consistently expresses what it most deeply accepts as true. The inner world stabilizes, and the outer world gradually rearranges to reflect that stability. Opportunities appear, behaviors shift, circumstances begin aligning with the state you've been embodying. What was once imagined starts to take form, as if the unseen blueprint has finally become visible structure. In this way, the quote-unquote feeling, acceptance of fulfillment, the acceptance of the knowing that you are source, fulfillment, the acceptance of the knowing that you're source, is not the reward at the end of the journey. It is the creative seed from which the visible experience grows. Damn, boy, we gonna eat, don't worry. We gonna eat. Don't worry. All right, next part. The universe is not a timeline, it is a film reel. The universe ain't a timeline, it's a film reel. So let's go deeper. Reality is not a continuous line stretching from past to future. Think about your life. Think about what you perceive as the past. Think about what you perceive as the future, right? When most people think about this, their life, they imagine a past that from this moment that they're in stretches backwards. It's a continuous line of events. One event building on top of the next, building on top of the next, till eventually they got here. They think of their future as a continuation from this moment, based on the past, a continuation where they're building on top of things. This is why it becomes very difficult for us to say, well, I'm prosperity, because now the human mind wants to do what? It wants to stack moments on top of each other. It says, well, if I'm prosperity, this must happen, and then this could happen, and this possibly could happen, and then this could happen, and then that, and that, and that, and that, and that. You see what I'm saying? But what if, ponder this, what if each moment is simply an individual moment? What if each moment is just a film reel? If you've ever watched a movie, I use this reference all the time. You watch a movie, right? And typically movies are shot in about 24 frames a second. A frame is an image. Okay? It's an image, a still image, a frame. But every second, 24 of these goes by, and they go by so fast, it gives you the illusion of what? Continuity and movement. Oh, continuity and movement, illusion. This is the same way that life is. What happens is that in this moment, what you're doing is you're telling a story that does not just animate this moment, but it tells the story of what every image or moment in the past and every moment in the perceived future should mean. So when I sit in this moment that is independent of anyone else, if it's independent of any other moment, and I say, I've been doing this for 5 years and nothing has happened. Those meaningless film rolls, all of a sudden from this moment, I'm fucking animating them. My consciousness is lighting up this moment and saying, this is who I am. I'm a person that doesn't have it. I'm a person that's been waiting, and it's going back and it's making all those past film rolls absolutely meaningless. And then it's highlighting those future ones and it's saying, hopefully something changes, but right now nothing can change because I ain't it. You get what I'm saying? So we think that these moments are grouped together, are strung together by some line. They're not. They're individual moments being animated by you right now. This is what we call revision. There's nothing wrong with the circumstance that happened. It's just a circumstance. It's your story about it, told from this moment, based on who you are right now, that animates it. So the longer that you say, I've been doing this for X amount of time, the longer that you continue to say in this moment that you're not it, it's your identity that is unfolding from within you, giving you the illusion of time, but you are it because you are reality. See this moment for what it is, a brand new film role, a brand new opportunity. See this moment for what it is. It's a brand new reality. This moment is a brand new reality. You are in a new universe right now. Choose your character. Choose your character. Decide who you are and stand on that shit. This is reality creation. I am only what I decide to be in the immediacy of now. I only have what I decide to have in the immediacy of now. I am everything that I desire to be in the immediacy of now. There is nothing but now. It must unfold to what I say based on who I am being now. Why would you ever want to, if you can do all of this in this moment, why would you ever want to go back to the past? Why would you ever want to not be present? Where else is there to be? Where else is there to create? What else is there to do? You could let your mind just go off on autopilot if you want and keep telling those old stories, them same stories, or you can take control of your life right now. Right now, there is no future, there's no past, there is no continuous stream of past moments. There's only you defining who you are right now. This is it. This is it. This is your life right now. Who are you right now? Beautiful. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So reality is closer to a film reel. A film appears smooth because thousands of frames move quickly enough that the eye perceives continuity. But in truth, each frame is completely separate. It's a new image. It's a new moment. It's a new configuration. Reality functions in the same way. Each moment is not an extension of the last. Each moment is not an extension of the last. Each moment is a new frame of existence. The mind creates the illusion of continuity by referencing memory. How do you break out of that? Presence. Now, can things help you with presence? Of course. Now, here's the thing. If you know, let me just get you to this, right? Because you'll ask me, and I'll see those things out the corner of my eye, and sometimes I'll ignore them, sometimes I'll answer, but you'll ask me things like, okay, does meditation make this easier? What is the purpose of techniques? All right, let me say this very, very clearly. If everything that you desire to be is based on who you are, if everything that you desire is based on who you are right now, think about this. Why would you not use whatever tool that you could to bring you to this moment and decide who you are? You ain't got to do that shit. But just because I don't need a fucking hammer to hang a picture doesn't mean that I wouldn't use a hammer. No, Alex, I probably would still use a hammer because it makes it easier. Yes. So you can do whatever you want to do. Just know that it comes down to who you are being right now. The continuity is an illusion. It's an illusion. It's just your mind trying to group things together for the sake of story. So if you want to use meditation, do that shit. I'm not going to tell you don't do it. I'm going to say you don't have to. You ain't got to do that shit. But go ahead. If you need to, if you like to, if you want to, well, you don't need to, but if you want to, if that's what helps you, this is your reality. This is your life. What is a low frequency? Measure it. If you can measure what your frequency is right now, then you might have a case in point. But oftentimes, what you're calling frequency is just a made up story in your mind. You're saying, oh, I've just had a low frequency. Based on what? Based on who? Somebody just came on TV one day and said, you've got to be in the frequency of money. And you were like, oh my God, that makes sense. You don't even know what a frequency is. None of y'all are walking around with a thermometer shoved up your ass, measuring your frequency, saying, oh, you're in the right vibration and beeping 3 times. And none of you have that, right? So what you call frequency and vibration is just a made up thought up here. It's just a story. Oh, frequency, I got to be in the right one. According to who? According to what? The frequency is not an emotion. Emotion is an emotion. An emotion is an emotion. An emotion is an emotion. An emotion has nothing to do with who you are. An emotion is simply your human experience unfolding in real time, right here, right now. If you're telling me, like, if you lose a loved one, a family member, and you're sad, are you saying all of a sudden you're in a lower frequency because you're sad? Absolutely not. Those types of thinking, it happens good when people are just out here trying to hustle SPs to you. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense when people are trying to hustle an SP masterclass to you. Hey, yeah, stay in this vibration, stay in this emotion, and this frequency, and you'll get it. Come get your SP. Oh, it sounds real good. So you mean I can't mourn my family member? And I'm going to be in a lower frequency and I can't get what I want now? Absolutely not. That's a ridiculous claim. Your emotion is simply what you are going through right now. That's it. It's just, you feel a certain type of way. That's fine. But then you go in and you put a label on it and you say, oh, because I'm sad, I can't get this. Because I'm sad, I'm in a low vibration. You are the vibration of God. You are the frequency of God. You are the fullness and wholeness of God. How could you? Now, anything after that is you just trying to put a human label on something that does not need a label. You are the vibration of God. You are exactly who you desire to be right now. End of story. Everything else is an unnecessary label on top of it. We could talk about frequencies. We could measure that shit. We could all sit in rooms and put shit on our fucking foreheads and measure the rays on the screen and say, oh, you're going to get what you want. I guarantee you some of y'all shit's going to be low as hell and you're still living the life that you want. Some of y'all shit's going to be high as hell and you're not living the life that you want. That's just another story to justify us saying, oh, I guess I don't have what I want because I'll make another excuse. I have to raise my vibration. I'll make another excuse. I have to eat better. I'll make another excuse. Maybe if I meditate more. I'll make another excuse. Oh, it's the subconscious. I make another excuse. Oh, it's the rewiring of the neurons. When does it stop? At what point do you just decide that you are who you decide to be? You are either the person you desire to be or you're not. And oftentimes those stories that you've been sold are just an excuse for you to stay in a position of I am not it. I'm not it because my frequency ain't high enough. I'm not it because I ain't rewired enough. I'm not it because of this, because of that, because of that. But you are it. You're just pretending that you're not. You're just pretending that you're not. Those paths just lead to so much more like suffering than your divine ass deserves. You are source. You are the expression of God. Your word is law. Your word is law. And I'm not talking like this to get on anybody. I just appreciate the question. I believe the question just highlights a good point. So I'm not talking like this at you. I'm talking like this just to make a more broad point. Right? The more broad point is that once we start going down that path, where does it end? Even if you start telling me that your frequency has to be improved, who is the one who decides it's improved enough? It's us. You're the frequency of God. That's all you need to know. You're the frequency of God. Everything else is a human explanation. Now, we could actually measure your frequency, be like, oh, well, birds have this frequency and certain plants have this frequency. Yeah. But if that becomes an excuse to not have what you want, it's irrelevant for this discussion. Right? then it's irrelevant for this discussion. If it keeps you from getting what you want, it's irrelevant, right? All you need to know, you are the vibration of God, the frequency of God. You are the identity of divinity. You are the place where God and humanity comes and joins and gets married. The lamb and the bride. That's you. You are the place where identity meets divinity. God is pure consciousness, pure being, pure awareness, pure source. And you are the identity that encapsulates all of that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Is God about frequency? I ain't gonna say about frequency. I ain't gonna say about. Alignment is just your decision. Who are you right now? You're in alignment with whatever you desire to be right now. Not desire to be. You are in alignment with whatever you decide that you are right now. That is your alignment. You're always in alignment with God because you are God. This is why even if you say I'm out of alignment, and to you that means that I can't get what I want, guess what? Your reality says, okay, cool. You're the boss. Think about this. You are so God that if right now you start telling the story that you can't get what you want because you're not in alignment, reality says, okay, cool. Think about it. Reality says, okay, cool. You got it. You're the expression of God. You're the one giving the orders. You are in perfect alignment with whatever you decide that you are right now when you know that you're reality. That's it. Cool. This philosophy class. It ain't philosophy class, but we can get there, bro. We can get there. All right. So each moment is not an extension of the last. Uh-oh. Each moment is a new frame of existence. The mind creates the illusion of continuity by referencing memory, but memory itself is just a thought happening now. Even what you call memory is just a thought that you're having right now. You're just telling a story right now. Right now. You're not carrying the past. You're remembering it right now. And the story that you remember right now determines which frame appears next. So here we go. Here is a quote from the Upanishads. It says, "You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny." I love when we get into these mystical quotes. We're almost at another thing. So, another drawing. Beneath the surface of every life is a current that shapes its direction. This current is not circumstance. You are not on a current of circumstance that is guiding your life. Huh? And it is not the passing thoughts that drift through the mind throughout the day. They're just passing thoughts. It is something deeper. It is desire. Desire. The inner orientation of the soul toward what it recognizes as meaningful, beautiful, or true. What if you began to look at your desire that way? If you are everything right now, if you are the walking word of God, the walking will of God, what if you actually began to look at desire righteously in the right way? What is desire? It is simply an inner orientation of the soul toward what it recognizes as meaningful, beautiful, or true. Desire forms will. Will guides action. And action gradually constructs the landscape of a person's life. In this way, destiny, it's not something that's imposed from the outside. It grows organically from the interior world of a human being. The invisible longing within becomes the architecture of the visible life without. Let's go further. Because I just said, hold up, you know what I'm saying? The desire forms the will, and the will forms the deed, and deed. Oh, of course, Alex. Of course, Alex, you reap what you sow, but let's get a little bit further, all right? So there's an even deeper truth hidden in this. If destiny grows from deeds, and deeds flow from your will, and will flows from desire, then the real creative center of life lies within the heart itself. Change the deepest desire, and the entire trajectory of life begins to reorganize. When the inner longing shifts, the will awakens in a new direction. Actions begin to reflect a new orientation, and destiny bends toward a different horizon. What appears to be fate, here we go. What appears to be fate is often simply the flowering of what has been loved, imagined, and pursued within the soul all along. What's it? This is just a fancy way of me saying, we go back to those 3 points, right? The presence in this moment. What am I aware of in this moment? What am I aware of in this moment? What is my state of being? Who am I right now? That's it. Who am I right now? One of the things that used to help me a lot, right? If anybody is a faster, if you fast, or if you've changed your diet, or if you've been on a substance before, right, and had to clean yourself up, one thing that was always very difficult was fighting the urge. Trying to fight that substance or that food or that way of living or that liquor or whatever the case may be just by pure discipline, putting it down is one thing. But it becomes a lot more simpler when in that fight you realize, oh shit, that's not me anymore. I'm a clean person now. No, I eat like this now. This is who I am now. So instead of me trying to fight the actual thing, I just go back to the identity. Who are you being? Who are you right now? It's the identity shift that matters. Now, does the identity shift always correlate to a change of quote unquote action? Perhaps, maybe not. But let's also think about it this way. You've been with a specific person, right? And situation is getting strange. Let's say that they're giving you hot and cold behavior. One moment they're all up on you. The next moment they kind of disappear, right? Now, when you decide that you are in the identity of somebody in a loving relationship, does that automatically mean that your behaviors will change? Are you all of a sudden you say, well, you know what? I'm not going to tell them how I feel. Maybe not. But because your identity has shifted, the reality that you are in completely changes anyway. So situations begin to flow differently. People speak differently. Things happen differently. You get where I'm hitting at? You get where I'm doing? Do you get where I'm going? So we still have to get to a point where we're not judging this frame. We're judging our identity. So the question is never what's going on. The question is, who am I being right now? Who am I being right now? Boom. Here we go. So destiny is not a distant future. Destiny is simply the next frame. And the next frame is determined by who you are being right now. So new diagram. All right. So reality is not a continuous line, right? Reality is not a continuous line. It is a film reel of moments. And each frame is created by who you are being in the now. So you've got these frames over here on the left that you perceive as the past. So you got frame 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are individual moments. You've got infinite of them, infinite of these individual moments. All right. And now the next frame on the right, you've got your preferred reality. These are individual moments. They all exist within you, but we're just showing them this way for the purpose of illustration. All right. Let's give a practical example, just something that you can wrap your mind around. Let's say right now, in this present moment, all these films exist within you. You're present. You're aware of who you are being, and you decide that you are going to be someone who love works out for. Okay. Now, has this ever happened to any of y'all? You've went through a breakup, and in that breakup, you're like, man, I just don't know what went wrong. I'd give anything to go back. Please come back to me. And then maybe 3 years later, you meet somebody new and you say, man, thank God I went through that, because that situation actually allows me to be better in this situation. Now, In one moment, you looked at all of these frames and you saw despair. But these frames didn't change. In this new moment, you see gratitude. But these frames didn't change. What actually changed? Who you are right now changed. This person sitting in this moment changed. So who you are right now, not only does it animate these new frames within you, but it goes back and it re-alters these frames. It gives, sometimes it can be subtle things, like in that relationship example, it just gives new meaning to a frame. In other ways, you'll start seeing people show up and doing what? Repeating affirmations to you. Right? I'll tell you, one of my first kind of big success stories with one of my clients is, we came to this realization. She was like, well, I've constantly been judging the external as the truth. And I've been saying that people betray me and people don't like me. And she had this long story of all these things that had happened within her life, right? Parents abandoned her, exes abandoned her. And so she was going through all these things that people were abandoning her, right? And now all of a sudden she was like, hold up, I was basing my truth on what's out there instead of the truth that I am source. God's always been with me. I've never been abandoned. I've always been loved. And then what happened was, these frames, how did they change? Is that certain people in her life that weren't there before, or were there before, that she had this story of them abandoning her, started to show up in her life and do what? Tell her how much they loved her. You've always been my favorite. These people began to instantly reflect who she was aware of being now. This new reality did not just stretch out into the future, it stretched out into the past, because all of these still images were just sitting within her, just waiting for what story she was going to put. So this version of you right here, this current version of you, you're not just doing some shit to get something in the future based on some past that you think is unchanged, that you have to go through and suffer and struggle through. You're deciding who you are right now, and it's lighting up every single fucking frame. Everything is changing based on who you are right now. Everything. Everything. You're not helpless. You are not a broken being begging for a blessing. You are the walking word of God, the walking wheel of God. You are the law. You are the law. This moment is the only thing that matters. Who are you right now? In the immediacy of now, who are you? Right now. I don't care about the past. I don't care about the future. You have what you have right now because you are who you are right now. Beautiful. Right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this point right now, right? This is always going to be your creation point. This is your creation point. Right? Just the old memories that you have of these frames, they're just thoughts happening right now. But you get to choose your beliefs. You get to choose your identity. You get to choose your emotions. You get to choose your focus in this moment. And you get to be whoever you want to be. This is your creation point, right? So it goes back to that first point, right? Destiny is not something that you reach. It's the next frame that you choose. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's get a little bit further. The past is not behind you. This realization changes everything. Because if reality is frame by frame, if reality is frame by frame, then something becomes more clear. The past is not behind you. The past only exists as a memory being activated in this moment. When someone says, I've struggled for 10 years, what they're actually doing is animating a memory right now and then using it as a blueprint for the next frame. The past only survives because it is continually what? Remembered, animated. The moment identity shifts, the past loses its authority. This is why even Romans 12:12, right? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Notice the word in here. Be transformed by the what? Renewing of your mind. Let's highlight that and put that in underline. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when do you renew your mind? Every fucking moment. Every fucking moment you renew your mind. You are new right now. You are new right now. You are new right now. Can you stay in the knowing of who you are and put distance between who you are right now and that old identity of lack? This is time. This is time. This is time unfolding. When you decide who you are and you put distance in between who you are right now and that version of you that you were, that is time. Beautiful. So notice the word, right? Renewing. Not remembering, but renewing. To renew the mind is to allow a new identity to emerge in the present moment. And when the mind renews, the next frame changes. You're in the reality that you want. It might look the same. It might feel the same. Emotions might still scream the same. But guess what? You have changed because you have decided. And now suddenly the future no longer resembles the past. Number 5, the eternal now. All mystical traditions eventually arrive at the same revelation. Reality only exists now. Even Jesus spoke of this when he says the kingdom of God is within you. Within you is speaking to the immediacy of now. Not later, not someday, not after years of preparation and reading and studying and meditation, and not when the SP texts you. God is not hidden within the text message of your SP. It's within you now. All right, so Meister Eckhart, quote from Meister Eckhart, it says, "The present moment is the only place where God can enter your life." The present moment is the only place where God can enter your life. The divine doesn't arrive through memory, nor does it descend from some imagined future waiting to unfold. It appears only where life is actually being lived, in the immediacy of this moment. The past exists only as a story the mind recalls now. And the future exists only as a thought projected forward from now. But God, the living essence of awareness itself, is not a memory and is not a projection. God ain't a memory and God ain't a projection. It's presence. It is the quiet awareness that exists before thought begins narrating reality. When the mind releases its constant wandering between what was and what might be. Right? Treating the fucking present moment like a waiting room. Always stuck between what was and what might be. And wondering why this present moment feels so empty. Wondering why this present moment feels so meaningless. Because you're constantly thinking about the past. I wish I could change it. I wish I could do something differently. I wish I had that old thing back. That old thing's fucking gone. That memory, it's gone. That reality is gone. You can create something better right now, though. Always thinking about if in the future, I'll have something better. When they text me back, then I'll be fulfilled. Then I'll know that this is working. Then I'll know manifestation is real. Ugh. One of the worst excuses. When we stop treating the present moment like some waiting room, robbing it of its meaning, and then wondering why we feel so empty and hopeless all the time. Because you're never here. And this is the only place that creation happens. This is the only place that creation happens, right? The ordinary moment reveals itself, not even becomes. The ordinary moment reveals itself as the doorway through which eternity touches the world. Oh, sometimes the words, but it just feels so good when I say them. The ordinary moment reveals itself as the doorway through which eternity touches the world. This moment right here is the doorway through which eternity, you are eternity, touches the world, and you are touching the world right now. This is why every spiritual tradition eventually returns to the same simple instruction: to wake up to the moment you're already standing in. The divine doesn't require time to reach you, doesn't require distance to travel or rituals to invite it. It is already here, breathing through your lungs and seeing through your eyes. The present moment is not just some slice of time moving between past and future. Stop treating it like a waiting room. It's not just some slice of time. It is the living intersection between the human and the infinite. And when awareness rests fully in that space, life stops feeling like something you're chasing, and instead it begins to what? Feel like something sacred unfolding through you. God is not bound to time. God is the eternal now, which means the creative power of existence is not located in your past. And it is not located in your future. It is located in this moment of awareness right now. Every moment is a doorway through which a completely new reality can enter existence. Every moment. Do you understand how profound this statement is? I'm going to say I'm going to say it again. Do you understand how profound this statement is? Every moment is a doorway through which a completely new reality can enter existence. Every moment is a seed of infinite possibility. Every fucking moment. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you. Since I feel like people ain't listening, thank you, Chrissy. Shit. Awareness determines the next frame. Right? Awareness determines the next frame. So here we go. We've talked about the power. Okay. We've talked about the power, all right? So we've talked about this present moment. So this is where awareness becomes sacred. Most people move through life unconsciously. This is the human condition. Most people they just blown through life, constantly thinking about the past, constantly thinking about the future, never here, wondering why shit always feels the same. They reference the same memories. They repeat the same interpretations. Well, this always happens. Oh, no, it always happens. It always happens. They repeat the same interpretations. They carry the same emotional identity. So the same frames appear again and again. Life feels like a loop. But what happens? What breaks the loop? Awareness breaks the loop. The moment awareness awakens, a profound question must emerge. When your awareness awakens right now, when you become aware right now, what is the question that you must answer? Who am I being? Who am I being right now becomes the question, right? When you become aware, that question naturally, it's a natural byproduct of you being present right now. Not who you were yesterday, not who circumstances say you are, not who memory claims you must be, but who are you choosing to be right now? Who are you choosing to be right now? Because that choice determines the next frame, and the next frame becomes your life. Who are you right now? Next picture. Next picture. Next picture. All right. So you've got all these frames. Frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5, frame 6. The mind does what? The mind interprets these frames as what? Continuous life. How we were talking about it earlier. We were saying, well, if most people think of their life, they think of all of these moments as one continuous stream of events to right now. And the future must be another continuous stream of events to out there. But each moment is its own individual frame. What's the paradox? That in this moment, you're actually standing on all the frames. Right? So here we go. The mind interprets these frames as continuous life. Every moment is a new frame of existence, though. So here we go. The gold wrapped around here represents the now moment. Okay. So when we have these two frames, frame A, frame 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing actually travels from one frame to the next. Nothing. So in this moment, nothing travels from this moment to this moment. Nothing. Nothing travels from this moment to that moment. There's just you. What travels from this moment to the next moment? Your story. Your story of how the moment shaped together. It's the only thing that travels. So you can change everything by changing your story. Where? Right here. Right here and right now. Right? So when you're in this now you've got the next frames. Now think about this. We think that we're moving through these frames left to right. We think it goes frame 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. You're always in this now moment, and frames are being pulled to you based on what you are. Let me say it a different way. All the frames are within you. And these frames are being animated, giving life based on who you are being right now. So it's not necessarily that you're flowing through these frames from left to right in some linear timeline. You're deciding who you are right now. And those frames are animating, and then they're being outpictured. So the next frame doesn't come from the past. It comes from what? Now, who you're being right now. Right? So if we want to recreate the past, what we're going to do is we're going to take our memory. We're going to say, what identity was I in that memory? Let me be the same identity right now. Now we recreate the past. And now we create a situation where we've been doing something for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 10 months. The same person. I'm constantly, where is it? I don't know where it is. Nothing's changed. I'm the identity of the person that screams and bitches and complains about nothing changes. Nothing changes. But you've been saying nothing changes for the last 4 months. When do we look ourselves in the mirror and be like, damn, this is the story I've been telling? Because I'm basing the truth on what's out there. Everything has changed because I've changed. I've changed. So everything has changed. Instead of basing reality on what you see out there, your reality. You're not looking at reality, guys. You're looking as reality. You are reality. Okay? And so now to select a new frame, what do? We come to this moment, right? And then we just simply change or select a new identity. We get to decide who we are right now. That's it. And when we decide who we are right now, all of a sudden, all these new frames, they get animated. They get animated, and guess what? They outpicture. Reality is not a timeline. It is a sequence of frames, and you are all of them right now. They're just being outpictured. It's not a timeline. There's no continuity between the past and the future. There's no continuity. This is why a woman, if her baby's trapped under the car, she just picks it up. She doesn't pause and go to an alternate dimension and start working out for 18 years and take steroids so she can get strong enough, then come back and then fucking lift the car and then go away, and then all that adrenaline leaves, and then it's boom. She instantly decided this ain't finna happen. Instantly decided, and reality said yes in the very next frame. In the very next frame. You decide who you are right now. It's done. It's done. You're in that reality because you are that reality. Beautiful. So memory is going to tell us that the next frame must resemble the last. This is what the human memory. And remember, there's 2 ways we can use memory. It's a lot of shit packed up in this live. We already been out here for an hour 15. This is one of them lives right here. All right. So memory tells us that the next frame must resemble the last. But there's 2 purposes of memory. The first purpose of memory is what? The ego. Oh God, let me not say the ego. It's you wanting to look back at the past. You want to look back at the past and you want to say, oh, because I see it and remember it and feel it, that must be real. The other part of memory is to remember that you're already everything right now, that you are source right now, and I get to choose whoever I want to be right now. The same way that your memory has been trained since you were a child to look at the past and think it's the truth is the same way that what? You get to decide to remember that you are already everything you desire to be right now. Ah, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? It's not Friday, but we're going to call it Freedom Friday. All right. So awareness reveals something. The next frame is never determined by the past. The next frame is not determined by the past. It's only determined by who you are right now. So 5, 6, 7, the collapse of time. This is why awakening often feels like time collapsing. People say things like, my whole life changed overnight. But what truly changed was their identity. They became so entrenched with the identity of prosperity that they couldn't even recognize that old version of them. It felt like ages ago, even though I just felt broke yesterday. And what happened? Reality has to change. This was the question that I asked in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, it's a free community. There's a link in the bio. There's a link tree in the bio. You can ask questions there. It's pretty cool space. But this is the thing, right? So what is time? Time is identity unfolding. So what I have found in my life is that whenever I have made a decision to change an identity, okay, what has often happened is that the less that I could relate to that old version of me, the quicker things seem to appear. The less that I could relate to some dude that was begging a woman to come back and decided that she was mine, the less I could relate to that, the faster her ass came crawling back. This was the same with money, with all these things. The more that I could not relate to a version of me who did not have it, the quicker things seemed to show up. Why? Why? Because I became so entrenched in being present and knowing who I was that those moments strung together and created space between who I am and who I was, because there's only this present moment, and you string those moments together and all of a sudden reality is already rearranged for you. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So a person decided let me start back over. So people say things like, my whole life changed overnight. But what truly changed was identity. A person decided, I'm no longer that version of myself. Right? Is this the scene in The Chosen with Mary? Right? I don't even know who that was anymore. I'm not even that person anymore, right? So when we decide that we're no longer that person, the moment that decision actually became real, right now, reality immediately reorganized itself. Years of waiting disappear. New paths open. New possibilities unfold. What once felt distant becomes immediate because reality moves at the speed of identity and not the speed of clocks. So number 8, right? The romance of the present moment. And here we arrive at the most beautiful truth of all. The present moment is not empty. It is not neutral. And it's not simply a place you pass through on your way somewhere else. The present moment is the birthplace of creation. It is the birthplace of creation. It is the divine canvas upon which existence paints itself. Right? So Kabir, right? Quote from Kabir, right? The Sufi mystic. Wherever you are is the entry point. Wherever you are is the entry point. To what? To whatever you desire. Right now is the entry point to whatever you desire. People often imagine that transformation requires a different location. So when I get there, when this happens, right? We think it requires a better set of circumstances or a future moment when everything finally lines up. Yet, the deeper truth is what? It's a lot more empowering, first of all. But what is it? The doorway to change doesn't appear somewhere else. It appears exactly where you are standing right now. Your current moment, with all of its imperfections, with all of its questions, with all of its unfinished stories, with all of its emotions, whatever the case may be, it's not an obstacle to the life you desire. It's the entry point to it. The present moment is the creative threshold where identity is chosen, where perspective shifts, and where a new direction begins. You don't step into a new life by traveling to a new place. Because no matter where you go, you bring this moment with you, right? You step into it by becoming someone new in the place you already are. The entry point isn't limited to a specific destiny or a predetermined path. It is the gateway to whatever reality you decide to embody. If you choose courage, this moment becomes the entry point to courage. If you choose love, this moment becomes the entry point to love. If you choose abundance, prosperity, wealth, health, whatever the case may be, clarity, this same moment opens the door to those experiences. Life is constantly offering the same invitation. Begin here. Begin here. What about now? What about now? Is this a good time? Is this a good time, right? Not when things are perfect, not when the past is resolved, but right now. Because wherever you are is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of whatever you are ready to become. This moment is the beginning of whatever you decide to become. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the beginning and the end, right? You don't need to travel through years. You don't need to fix the past. You don't need to chase the future. You only need to recognize the sacred power of this moment, because the next frame of your life is being written right now. So a question for the soul, right? Perhaps the best question, the more important question than how long will this take is what? Who am I choosing to be in this moment? Who am I choosing to be in this moment? Okay? Because the identity that you hold right now is already shaping the next frame of existence. And the next frame becomes your life. Okay? So we're going to end this one. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Or we're going to end this one with a letter and we're going to get to it. Okay? Hey, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I had a great weekend. Appreciate your family. So here we go, y'all. Here we go. My dear self. My dear self, pause for a moment and listen to the space beneath your thoughts. Beneath every story you've told about your past and every projection you've made about your future, there is a stillness that's always been here. That stillness is where your life is truly being written. You spent so much time believing that time must pass, that circumstances must change, that something outside of you must rearrange before your life can unfold. But the deeper truth is much more simple and beautiful. Life isn't waiting somewhere ahead of you. It's being created through you right now, in this breath, in this awareness, in this choice of who you decide to be in this divine moment. Remember this when the mind begins to wander back into old memories or forward into imagined limitations. The past isn't following you. It's only a story recalled in this moment of awareness. The future isn't a horizon that you must travel toward. It is the next frame quietly emerging from the identity that you embody right now. Every moment, you're offered the same sacred freedom, the freedom to become someone new. You're not bound to the version of yourself that once existed. You are the awareness that witnesses that version. And because of that, you are always free to step beyond it. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. Within it lies the same creative force that moves the stars and opens the petals of flowers toward the sun. The same intelligence that animates the universe lives within your awareness now. When you choose who you are in this moment, life begins to reorganize itself around that choice. Doors appear that once seemed invisible. Paths unfold that once seemed impossible. What looked like destiny was simply the echo of old identities repeating themselves, but you're no longer confined to those echoes. You're no longer confined to those limitations. Wherever you stand is the entry point, not to a distant miracle, but to the life you decide to embody now. If you desire peace, it begins with the peace you choose in this moment. If you desire love, it begins with the love you allow to move through your heart now. If you desire abundance, purpose, courage, freedom, the doorway doesn't appear in the future. It appears in the decision, the quiet decision that you make about who you are right now. The moment you choose differently, the next frame of your life begins to change. So walk gently but boldly through this moment. Let go of the belief that time must pass before life can transform. Let go of the stories that say you're defined by what once happened. You're not the past replaying itself. You are the awareness through which something entirely new can emerge. Every breath is an opening. Every moment is a threshold, and every now is an invitation. And the most beautiful truth of all of this is the life that you seek is not somewhere else. The life that you seek is not somewhere else. It is waiting for you to become it. I am that I am, right? No matter what. No matter what. Still appreciate you. Appreciate you the whole string. I appreciate y'all pouring into me. I appreciate y'all pouring into me and helping me. But yeah, that is it. Cool. So we'll do questions, but I thought I was going to get through this one a little bit quicker. I also didn't want to rush this one because I think this one was a very necessary discussion. Right? But yeah, of course, this is going to be on YouTube. I would highly advise to go back through it. The pictures and stuff. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I ain't going to put the pictures up. I know I ain't been uploading the documents. I ain't going to upload the documents, but you can see the pictures and take screenshots on YouTube, I suppose. All right. Peace. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all and talk to y'all soon. Peace.